teacher. This is my integrated skill activity. So, good evening, morning, or night. Today I'm going to talk about resilience and the overcoming hardship based on the video Never Give Up by Nick Woodring and the reading about becoming advertising and building resilience. First, I want to talk about what I learned from Nipsey. His story is truly inspiring because despite being born without arms and legs, he decided not to give up on life. Instead of focusing on what he could not do, he focused on everything he was still capable of achieving, and he became a motivational speaker, an author, and an example for millions of people around the world. From his experience, I learned that our mindset is very important. Sometimes people think that they cannot achieve something because of obstacles, fear, insecurity, but Nick teach us that determination and perseverance are stronger than limitations. So another important lesson that I learned is the importance of gratitude. Nick appraises his life and motivate others to value what they have. Even many people complain about a small problem every day, but his story reminds us that we should be thankful for our opportunities, our health, and our families. I also learned that confidence and self-acceptance are essential for happiness. Nick accepted himself and transformed his pain into motivation for others. Second, if I had been born without arms and legs, I think my life would have been very challenging. At first, I probably would have felt frustrated, insecure, and afraid about the future. I think I would have struggled emotionally because society can sometimes judge people with disabilities unfair. However, I believe that with support from family, education, and determination, I would have learned how to adapt to that life. I would have tried to develop my talents and focus on what I could instead of what I could not do. And Nick's example shows that disability does not stop a person from being successful, independent, or happy. Now, according to the reading of Becoming and Diversity, I Build Resilient, the author believes that challenge and setbacks are natural part of the life. Difficult experiences are not obstacles, they are also opportunities to learn and become strangers. The author explained that adversity can help people develop emotional strength, passion, confidence, and maturity. In other words, problems can teach valuable lessons that success alone cannot teach. In my opinion, I completely agree with the author. I think every person experiences difficulties at some point in their life, whether it is in school, in work, in family, or personal situation. Even though challenge can be painful, they often help people discover their true potential. For example, when someone fails an exam, lose a job, or face disappointment, they can either give up or learn from that experience and improve themselves. I believe resilient people are not people who never suffer, but people who continue moving forward despite difficulties are the fact. Next, resilience is the ability to recover from these difficult situations, adapt to problems, and continue working towards goals without giving up. A resilient person is strong emotional and mentally during hard moments. Resilient does not mean that a person never feels sad or stressed. It means that they know how to manage those emotions and continue trying. The reading mentions three important tips to build resilience. The first tip is maintain a positive mindset. This means focusing on solution instead of only focusing on problem. Positive thinking helps people stay motivated and hopeful during difficult situations. For example, instead saying I can do this, a resilient person say this is difficult, but I will try again. The second tip is building strong relationships with supportive people, family, friends, teachers, and mentors can provide emotional support and encouragement. Having someone to talk to during difficult moments can make a big difference. Support systems help people feel less alone and more confident. The third tip is learning from failures and adapting. Mistakes and failures are part of the life, but resilient people use them as a learning experience. Instead of feeling the defeat, they analyze what went wrong, and try to improve. Failure can become an opportunity for growth and personal development. Personally, I consider myself a resilient person. So my life, I have faced stressful situations like academic pressure and moments uncertainty, but I always try to continue moving overwhelming, especially when things do not go as planned. But I try to stay calm and focus on my goals. For example, in the university. I also try to learn from my mistakes instead of repeating it or repeating them. I believe resilience is something that people develop over trying to experience an effort. Finally, I will mention five situations from my past using the third conditional to talk about regrets. First, if I had studied harder in some classes, I would have gotten better grades. Second, if I had managed my time more effectively, I would have avoided a lot of stress and pressure. Third, if I had been more confident in myself, I would have taken more opportunities without fear. Fourth, if I had listened more carefully to advice from experienced people, I would have made better decisions in certain situations. And five, if I had worried less about failing, I would have enjoyed more experiences and challenges. These regrets taught me important lessons, and now I try to make better choices for the future. Thank you for listening, teacher.